This is the recipe you've all been waiting for, hamburger buns. Hello. All right, I'm gonna start with my flour blend in my mixer. If you haven't had a chance to watch the flour blend episode yet, my flour blend is a mixture of white rice flour, tapioca starch, and arrowroot so that I avoid corn in addition to gluten and dairy. So I'm starting with 2 cups. And to that, I am going to add 2 teaspoons of Ultratex 4, which is a modified tapioca starch. If you don't have this, you could use 2 teaspoons of xanthan gum here. I do like the Ultratex a little bit better than xanthan gum. It has the same properties of holding the grains together, but the texture's a little better in this one. Not a huge difference. If you can't find it, xanthan gum works just fine, but I do like it a little better. So also to my flour blend, I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. The baking soda and the baking powder are what are going to give my hamburger buns some rise without yeast in them. 1 teaspoon of salt. Oh, darn it. And I'm just gonna give my dry ingredients nothing. It's not plugged in. Come on, technical guy. Much better. Okay, just a quick blend. And then I'm going to add in some wet ingredients. That is going to be 1 cup of milk, and I'm using oat milk today. Almond milk and soy milk both work just fine. Whatever kind of non-dairy milk works for you. I also need 2 eggs. Oh, Harris. Was I right? Ooh, I was off. It was 5 minutes. I said 3.
Yep. So do you want to make a bet?
Make a bet?
Yeah.
Okay. On what?
How far do we get with this before Harris freaks out?
I bet we make it 3 minutes. My mom should be home soon if she's not already. Next, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of avocado oil. And 1 tablespoon of white balsamic vinegar. Another substitution for white balsamic vinegar would be apple cider vinegar. White balsamic vinegar is sometimes hard to find in my area. It does have a lighter, sweeter flavor than like the traditional balsamic vinegar, but I do like it in this recipe. So balsamic vinegar, the white balsamic is my favorite, but if I can't find it, apple cider vinegar works just fine. And this vinegar is what is going to cause the baking soda to cause rise or make it rise in our buns. And now I'm adding 2 teaspoons of honey to give it just a little sweetness. Quick tip, if you put your oil in your measuring spoon cup first and then the honey, it all comes out. All right, mix it up. Once all of my ingredients are incorporated, I'm going to let this mix for about 2 minutes. In this recipe, we want to create the air that normally the yeast would expel gas and give off in our baked product. But because there is no yeast, we're using the baking soda making powder to create rise. And we're going to beat it for 2 minutes or mix it for 2 minutes to create air to get the texture that we're looking for. So about 2 minutes, and while that's going, I'm gonna go ahead and preheat my oven to 375. Impatient mode.
It's only 2 minutes. You're impatient already?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna get a drink while I'm waiting. That should be about 2 minutes. Close enough. Just gonna scrape down my bowl, make sure everything got incorporated. As you can see, this is a very thin batter. Now, I have this very fancy hamburger pan, but if you don't happen to have a very fancy hamburger pan, no problem. I've got a trick for you. So I just use one of my large circle cookie cutters and a couple strips of tin foil or aluminum foil, whatever you happen to call it in your area. And then I'm gonna fold it in half, each of them, so that they're double thick. And I wind it around my cookie cutter. One going each way so that it's thicker. Fold it over. Oh, I should have pinched that as I pulled it off. That was. Now I have a ring to make my form. You could just pour your batter straight in there and you'd have your round form, and then when it's all baked, just peel off the tin foil and throw it away. You're set. But if you're looking for a hamburger pan, I think this was even called a gluten-free hamburger pan on Amazon, and it was less than $20. So if you plan to make a lot of hamburger buns like I do for the summer, probably worth the purchase.
We can put the link.
Put the link in the description. Perfect. So I like to use a large cookie scoop. That helps me keep it a little more contained as I'm scooping it into my pan. And if you like thick hamburger buns, I would make this batter into 4 hamburger buns, but I prefer the more like sandwich thin size buns. I really just need the bun to hold all of my goodies together. I don't really want all of the extra carbs. Honestly, it's the carbs. So I make it into 6, and this makes really perfect size, thin, like the sandwich thin size buns.
Keto buns.
Well, they're not keto because the gluten-free flour blend is definitely not keto, but it's less carbs than
bread.
Yeah, totally. It's less. It's just not
keto-ish.
Carb friendly.
Okay, there you go.
All right. So those are now ready for the oven. 375. My oven's not quite ready for them. All right, ready for the oven. It's finally preheated. 375, 18 minutes. Here it goes. When I made just 4 instead of the 6. Goodness.
I knew it was gonna happen. Allergy season.
When I made just 4, the thicker buns, it took 20 minutes. So the thinner buns take a little less time to cook, but still, this is a very quick recipe. Could be ready in less than 30 minutes. See you in 18 minutes. All right, timer's getting ready to go off. Want a sneak peek? Oh, perfect. Gorgeous. Let's see if I can pop one out. It's a little bit hot. Hot, hot, hot. Look at that. Nice sandwich thin size. Toasty golden brown all over. See if I can cut it while it's still hot. Oh, it's too hot. Ouch. No, impatience. Hot. See that steam coming out of there? Look at that. Gorgeous. See? 2 minutes of beating, air bubbles. Now all I need is a barbecue.
That mean me?
That'd be you. Don't forget to subscribe, please. Click subscribe and the notifications. That helps us out and keeps us going so we can keep bringing you yummy content like gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, yeast-free hamburger buns. See you next time. Goodbye.